Good evening. Welcome to the KTLA News at 6. I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Brandi Hitt. Recently, KTLA brought to your attention accusations of cruel treatment of show elephants.
Well, tonight a victory for animal rights activists. One of those elephants will no longer take part in a local parade. KTLA's Dave Meekum live now and all the time now.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And if you've been outside today, there's no we don't even, hot is just the word. It is hot, it is hot, it is hot.
I was outside on the way to the pool and on the way back to the house.
That's it, Jim Castillo. I mean, it's already triple digits, right, in a lot of places?
Yeah, you know, I've seen it from the inland.
Making international headlines, voters in Mexico have gone to the polls to elect governors in 3 states. Now,
A hot way to hula hoop.
It's very hot. Take a
Indeed.
look. Am I the only one who wants to warn her that her hair may catch on fire as the hula hoop is going around?
Yeah, you definitely got to tie it back behind you, that's for sure.
Yeah, wow. And if you're doing that outside right now, Jim, and you're in the Valley or the Inland Empire.
But just as secular music has changed with the advent of hip-hop, rap, and neo-soul, gospel music has evolved, adopting some of the same beats and sound.
This Sunday, Gail Anderson has found a South Los Angeles church that prefers to minister to the congregation with some traditional tunes. And coming up, part 2 of Gail's Gospel Sunday report.
Here, an incredible performance.
Welcome back. The hunt is on right now for a sexual predator in Pico Rivera.
Authorities say a 6-year-old boy claims that he was molested in a public bathroom, and witnesses saw the suspect fleeing the scene. KTLA's David Begnaud joins us now live. All right, Jim is here, and of course the big story this weekend, as well as the fireworks, is the heat. It's hot.
It is hot, you know, inland, and then you have that marine layer right at the coast.
It's Jim. A local 4th of July parade will go on as planned, but without one very large attraction.
KTLA's Dave Meekum is live in Sierra.
An Arcadia man has just kicked off his inspirational ride across America and back. As KTLA first showed you earlier this week, this journey from Los Angeles would be difficult for anyone, but try doing it with no legs. And you can follow Bob on his journey by going to KTLA.com. Just click on the red info button and you'll find a link to the Dream Ride 3 website. Entertainment news, Michael and Janet Jackson are reuniting on a virtual stage. 2 years. Definitely, and a big weekend to probably go see the movie with the kids because you're not going to want to be hanging out in the heat, maybe.
No. When it's hot, it's always good to go to the movies. Get a big bucket of popcorn and enjoy the air conditioning.
Lots of air conditioning. Sometimes, Jim, even bringing a sweater in the middle of summer because it's so cold in the theater.
That's funny.
No,
that's funny stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks, Steve.
All right.
Coming up, a man spends days.
The 4th of July celebration is a tradition, and so is the Ministry of Music of New Antioch Church of God in Christ in South LA.
In part 2 of this week's Sunday Gospel Report, Gail Anderson shows us how the preaching of this music, of this choir, are rooted in convention.
Okay, there are plenty of homes decked out this 4th of July weekend.
But one family in Rhode Island isn't just celebrating America's independence. They're also honoring the victims of the 9/11 terror attacks by doing this. Much for joining us in the KTLA News at 6 o'clock.
We'll see you back here at 10 o'clock. And for continuous news updates, just log on to KTLA.com. Enjoy your Sunday evening. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Brandi Hitt. We're following a developing story right now out of Garden Grove. Sources say the founder of the Crystal Cathedral Ministries, Robert H. Schuller, has been ousted by the church board.
Now, the church has recently been plagued by debt and filed for bankruptcy, and it appears the problems are only getting worse. For more on the story, we go now to David Begnaud. He's live. A police pursuit through the streets of Hollywood ends with 2 men under arrest tonight.
According to the LAPD, this pursuit began around 8 o'clock tonight in Echo Park after police received the report of a stolen car. Well, it was another scorcher today leading up to the 4th of July. Triple digits in some areas, but it was cool along the coast.
That's right. Jim Castillo joining us now. A local 4th of July parade was supposed to include an elephant, but tonight there is a change of heart.
And it's likely the efforts of animal rights groups that helped sway the city's decision in this case. KTLA's Dave Meekum is live. Sheriff's deputies in Pico Rivera need your help searching for a man who raped a 6-year-old boy inside a public restroom. Right now in Ventura County, 2 people are dead in a plane crash, and it happened right near a
Prince William and Catherine, also known as Will and Kate, well, their 9-day Canadian tour is about half over now. Today, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge spent much of the day in Quebec City.
A lot of people are watching them. They were met with a lot of cheers and also protests. Max Foster has more on their visit. Glenn, an Arcadia man has just kicked off his inspirational ride across America and back. As KTLA first showed you earlier this week, this journey from Los Angeles would be difficult for anyone, but he is doing it with no legs. He inspires so many. You can follow Bob on his journey by going to KTLA.com. All you have to do is click on the red info button and you'll find a link to the Dream Ride 3 website. To this one, there's a new survey that shows employee shoplifting is on the rise, and some experts say this is good news for the economy. You see,
in our continuing series, Made in the USA, we have profiled the proud but few companies that are still putting Americans to work right here in the Southland.
And tonight we have partnered with the LA Times to look at one of the better paying manufacturing jobs that is still going strong. Here's Chris Burrows.
Okay, tomorrow, Chris will continue our series with a father-daughter safe building company that is beating back the imports. That's tomorrow night, right here on the news at 10.
So we go from building America's ships to trying to find out how we're going to celebrate America's birthday tomorrow.
The coast, but that chance of a thunderstorm tomorrow, we'll keep our eyes on the radar all night and into tomorrow.
Sounds good, Jim. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, coming up after the break, an emotion. And here's Megan Henderson now with a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on the KTLA Morning News. Packed 4th of July program starting at 4:30 a.m.
There you go.
That is the KTLA News at 10 o'clock for this Sunday night. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, for updates on the breaking news that we brought you, go to KTLA.com.
And be sure to wake up for that KTLA Morning News beginning, as we said, at 4:30 a.m. But don't go to bed yet. Steve Hartman here now with Sports Final.
And guys,